And let's see. Let's get our Karl intro going. Karl's back.
Showtime.
Frosted tips incoming. Hey, Karl.
Where is he?
Where?
Uh-oh. Take two.
Karl, frosted tips incoming.
Check, check, 1, 2. What's happening, Drew?
All right. How you doing, man? Are you on fumes?
I'm doing okay. Of course, traveling back yesterday from Vegas, our flight's delayed. I got in at 1 a.m. and I had an appointment this morning.
Oh.
So that was rough, but I'm doing okay. I'm going to go on live on my channel tonight at 9 Eastern and do a Hackamania recap.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we'll talk about everything that went down at Hackamania in Las Vegas this past weekend.
Well, anything you want to tease us about that happened that was particularly interesting?
So we get to the venue, and I got to tell you, Drew, you know that I've had some issues with live shows in the past because I run them.
Always. I mean,
this one was not me. Patrick Melton from Nobody Likes Onions was running the whole thing. We get to the venue for the meet and greet Friday before all the shows start, and nothing is working. And I see Patrick, like, Patrick, how's it going? He's like, nothing. Patrick Melton's having a Patrick meltdown. He's like, nothing is working. I can't get the stream up. We can't get the audio. He couldn't even get the audio working in the venue.
Oh,
like,
Jesus.
just simple thing. Like, this is a venue that already has a sound system and everything. Nothing was working. So it started off rough, but then it got way, way better. We had fantastic podcasts. I did both the Creep Off on Saturday and Who Are These Podcasts on Saturday. I just actually dropped the Who Are These Podcasts audio on our feed today.
Oh, you did? I was looking for it, and
Yep.
I didn't check recently enough, I guess. So did Patrick Melton, is it possible that it maybe got there a little bit later than he should have? Just asking.
No, he had everything working the day before. And you know, this is always the case. He went there the day before, got everything working, everything's running, great, tested it, awesome, and then day of, everything fails.
Stuttering John must have sent one of his agents in there to mess it up.
Well, speaking of Stuttering John, the other funny thing that was going on, the storyline of the weekend, because there are a bunch of people who wanted this to fail. People like Kevin Brennan, Aaron Imholt, and these guys.
Of course.
And yeah, Kevin Brennan was stream sniping a lot of it and goofing on it and stuff because we were streaming it for $20. And so there was this rumor.
So he paid his $20 and then he stream sniped. Okay.
Yes, correct. So there was this rumor that was going around because Patrick rented all these chairs for the venue because it's a rock venue. So he put all these chairs that people could sit and watch the shows. And there's a rumor that there were bed bugs on the chairs, that everyone was getting bed bugs from this show.
Did Kevin start that rumor, or did he allegedly get it from someone in Las Vegas?
There was a screen cap of a text conversation between two people. I don't even know who they are. Where the one person's just like, yeah, I think everyone's got bed bugs. I woke up real itchy. Everyone else is itchy. Everyone's saying this. And everyone just ran with it like, oh, he put on this event. It's a dirty place with bed bugs. Like, that would be really serious shit if that were the case.
Oh, yeah. Well, what hotel is this in?
So we actually did it at a venue called Synwave, which is a rock venue that's in between the Strip and downtown.
Well, most Las Vegas venues are usually pretty classy, pretty well put together. I would not expect to get bed bugs at a Vegas venue. That would be pretty weird.
Well, and also, like I said, Patrick had to rent the chairs and bring them in for this. So if you're a rental company and you're renting out chairs at bed bugs, you're not going to stay in business very long.
Something you missed was Muttering John tweeted at Stuttering John. It's just about 20 hours ago. Maybe you probably caught up on this. The world exclusive Our Lady Lothario dons, as in is wearing, and it's a picture of you with, you got a cool shirt on, but you're pointing at a T-shirt that says, I hope my mom wife lets me take a nap today, which is a play on, I mentioned this earlier in the show, the piece of video, the scandalous piece of video where Karl's wife, Jen, suggests that he take a nap, or did she ask you if you had taken your nap? I can't remember which, but either way, you were so played on that. Oh my God, Karl. What a pussy.
I can't believe I recovered from it, Drew. I was ready to get off the internet for the rest of my life after that 6-second video that was so embarrassing. So for whatever reason, Kevin Brennan and Stuttering John, some of these people continued to make fun of me about having a mom wife and taking naps and stuff. So one of the listeners made a customized shirt for themselves that said just that on the back, and took a fun photo with him.
Yeah, my mom wife lets me take a nap today. Karl's pointing at it, looking very angry. I'm sure you were angry.
But there's more scandal with the photo because it turns out that you have fucking chicken legs.
Yes, this is very true.
And the internet will never forgive that.
But that's just part of this scandal because the world exclusive from Muttering Jay is Old lady Lothario dons, as in you are wearing. Well, what can one say about this trailer park chic? Who wears socks like these with shorts? Well, it seems uncultivated Rochester fashionista at, who are these pods? Carl, in other words. And then Stuttering John must be laughing his ass off.
You're
the
finished.
Absolute state.
You're finished, Carl.
And then John retweeted and said, "Holy chicken legs, Batman." And it's funny. I looked at this picture and I was like, I like Carl's shirt. I thought it was kind of cool. I didn't think, is the socks, don't people wear dark socks nowadays?
Totally.
I
look.
don't know.
Yes,
I'm not a
do.
fashionista.
Are you known for having chicken legs, Carl? Are your legs that thin?
Yes, they are, and I'll explain that. But I do have to say that the reason why I got into podcasting originally was to show off how fashion forward I am. So this is really killing me that people are picking up on this.
I thought that was a new shirt, honestly. It looks like a nice shirt you're wearing.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
So the reason why I have very thin calves and like no calf muscles at all is because, and this is pretty well documented, I was born club-footed.
Yes.
So I had braces and casts on my legs when I was developing at an early age for years, and so my legs didn't grow the way normal people's legs grow.
Well, you should feel bad about that, Carl.
I do. I'm embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed by it that people have seen me in public dozens and dozens of times. This is nothing new. I wear shorts all summer long every summer. This is nothing new.
I can't believe you didn't wear long pants, Carl. That's crazy that you.
I love that they're like, I'm the one who posted that picture, by the way, too. That's from my Twitter. I love that they're like, oh, we got a scoop. Look at this. This is what Carl looks like. Yeah, all 200 people who were at the show saw me all weekend. Yes, that's true.
But, literally, they are making fun of your handicap. That's what's really so horrible about this.
Sad. It's sad.
Yeah, and John likes to think that we make fun of his stutter. We don't. We make fun of his alcoholism.
He doesn't stutter anyway.
He doesn't. I know. I think that was always a made-up thing that he did in order to get attention.
And maybe get a job. Although
And get a job.
his stutter seemed more real then. Now I don't even ever hear him stutter. But people are excited because you're bringing some woke dad to the party today. It's probably a good place to start. Woke dad is always a good place
Our
to
audience
start.
absolutely hates / loves woke dad.
Oh, I heard the boner line.
Just a sample.
So this guy's nuts. This is a TikToker. And his son is trans, and so his big cause is trans rights for youths. And he's actually helped pass legislation in New York State, and we'll talk about that.
Wait, did he
So
really? Did he really
Yeah.
do that?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went back and found some older videos because the thing that Drew loves the most about Woke Dad, I think we all do, is when he tells these stories of interactions he has with other people.
The
throughout
way he
the
turns
day.
people around, and people go from being racist, transphobic to crying. It's amazing.
He has more conversations that are life changing than anybody in the history of the world. This guy, like I've had maybe one of these conversations in my life.
I've never had one. I've never had one. And he just
I've never
runs a
been with
coffee
a
shop.
stranger. I've maybe like sat down with my friend and been like, I don't know, maybe your thoughts on this are off. Maybe. I don't even know if that's true. But a stranger, I would never even give a shit about trying to change their opinion on something.
I can't remember crying with my friends. He cried with a clerk at Walmart or somewhere where he was walking out and he used her preferred pronoun, and then she ended up crying. And I think he said he was crying too.
So our first example here, Woke Dad had an interaction with another woke dad. So this is a little bit different because he's talking to a father who also has a trans kid. And what I love about this is that he's obviously doing this to pat himself on the back. Like, the crazy thing about this guy's TikTok is every video is just showing himself in this godlike light. He's the greatest person on earth.
Right, which makes you suspicious. I mean, anybody that does that, it's virtue signaling on the highest level. It's disgusting.
And not even subtly. You know what I mean?
no.
It's not like changing your avatar to the Ukrainian flag. Like, this is like over the top virtue signaling.
And I don't know, probably because I'm a white guy, I hate people that shit on straight white guys all the time. And he's constantly acting like white straight guys are such a horrible threat to the world. It's like, get off it, you asshole.
Oh, we got something fun coming up for that.
Oh,
But yeah,
can't wait.
let's start with Woke Dad had an interaction with another Woke Dad.
Just a little while ago, I had an interaction with another dad, and I think I handled it well, but I guess I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. So I was walking into my daughter's middle school play, and this man was at the cash drawer. He was taking the cash for the tickets. And he said, "Hey, I like your bracelet." And I said, "Thanks." And I explained to him that I got it here. And he said, "Wow, that's wild. How'd you ever get into social media?" So I explained to him that I use my platform to help advocate for others, and that I most definitely use it to help support
As
the
the
trans
line backs
community
up.
because my son's trans, and it's important to help to educate others. And the look on his face was awe. He said, "That's amazing." He said, "I have a trans son. He's in 10th grade." And I said, "Well, my son's in 9th grade. That's really cool. That's amazing."
You guys start
It
making
sounds
out?
like you're affirming. And he said, "I do my best. I don't always understand, but I love him so much." And I said, "That's incredible." So I
Wow, he
shared with
loves
him
his
how I
son.
used my platform this year to help to get the New York Trans Safe Haven Bill passed into law. And the culmination being me and my kids and my friends standing in front of the governor as she signed the bill into law to protect the trans community in the state of New York. And he was speechless. He said, "Here I was thinking I was doing enough, being a good enough dad just by being affirming." And I said, "Hold up.
So I put him in his place.
You are.
Oh, come on.
By being an affirming parent to a trans kid, you are potentially saving his life. You're keeping him on this earth. And even if that wasn't in play, even if that had nothing to do with the conversation, your child trusts you now. They know that you loved them. He knows that you're always going to be there for him.
It's beautiful.
No matter what." He stood up, he shook my hand with tears in his eyes, put his arm around me and said, "Thank you."
No,
No, he didn't.
So if you're a parent out there and you don't feel like you're doing enough and you're being affirming, you're doing enough. You are absolutely doing
thanks.
enough. And you're amazing. You're making all the difference.
Oh, okay, great.
And you're making even more difference than we are because we're great and you're even greater. So
Yeah, you're doing enough. You're just not doing as much as I'm doing, which, I mean, who could be as great as me, though? I get it. It's fine.
don't do the math. I know I'm great, but you're still great too. And by the way, everyone has a trans kid apparently. The guy taking money at the play. I mean,
comes across more than I do.
isn't that weird?
Yeah. It's funny how trans children seem to exist in certain pockets in the United States. Have you guys
They do.
Heard about this at all? Like, for some reason in Southern California, it's a much higher densely populated area per capita of trans kids than like Nebraska or Montana. I don't know how that works.
It's crazy. And you know what else is true of trans kids is that their parents love them more than people of just regular kids.
Right. Could you imagine if you were a girl with a vagina? Boring. Well, how are you going to brag to your friends at work about that?
They're just more lovable. They just are. It just seems that these parents love their kids more than other people do. I mean, you must have a feeling of envy, Brandon and Mark, when you hear how much he loves his child and how affirming he is.
Yeah, totally.
I feel like I love my children, but maybe not that much.
You gotta step it up.
You might need to a long look in the mirror, Brandon, when you get home tonight. Yeah. So what I love about this guy, he runs this mobile coffee shop, and he won't shut up about it. He's so proud of this stupid shop. And for some reason, customers come to him and ask him for advice. Now, I've gotten coffee before. I've never looked at the barista and been like, I wonder if this person can help me with some of my life problems.
In fact, normally it's
You can
the
probably
opposite.
help them with theirs, yeah.
Right.
Well, normally it's the opposite. Like, didn't you have a barista at Dunkin' Donuts who used to confide in you, Drew?
He wanted financial help.
Yeah.
I forgot why he chose me, but yeah, he owed someone some money, and it was a long story.
He changed his life, and you both walked out of there with tears.
But no one cried, and I did not change his life. I don't know what happened. Never saw him again. But he did ask for help. It was very weird and awkward. It wasn't as natural as Woke Dad seems to handle it.
So this is the next video here. Customer asks for advice.
Do you have a moment to make a coffee with me? Maybe talk about life a little bit. How about we do an iced coffee? What do you think? So somebody pulled up to my window today, and she said that she was having the worst week ever. She was terrified. Her pre-kindergarten student, her child, was having trouble at school, and they were having trouble at school because they were acting out. They were pretty awful, in her words. And she said, I think I'm doing everything right as a parent, but I'm definitely doing something wrong because I just can't keep from him acting up in class. What in the world am I supposed to do? I said, it's interesting. I know as parents that we're responsible for how our kids act to an extent, but just remember, we're not everything. Our children are not us. Yeah, they're a reflection of us. But the reality is that some decisions they make, they're going to make with or without us. And as long as we're doing the best that we can as parents, eventually our kids are going to end up all right. And she broke down in tears because nobody said anything to her like that. Yeah, of course your kids are a reflection on you. They're a reflection on your parenting. But if they make bad decisions, if sometimes they aren't exactly what you'd expect from the children that you've raised, it's not completely a reflection on you. And as long as you're doing what you can to remedy the problem, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
So love those babies with all that you've got. Do right by them. Eventually everything will turn out okay.
I can't think of anything more infuriating than waiting for my fucking coffee to be made while the guy is filming his fucking TikTok. Did you notice that? He was making somebody's order that whole time.
He's so cocky. This is early woke dad. It's classic woke dad, I should say. And he's so confident and cocky about everything. I think he's a little more guarded now, Carl.
Well, you know what I'm picking up on too? These conversations he has. He never says, and I'm paraphrasing, but I said something like, he always knows every word he chose in that moment because he's making it up on the spot.
Right. Yeah.
That's why you know that he's able to say it. And then I said to her, and she went, "That's amazing." And I said, "Hold on, there's more." And I told her this thing and that thing. It's just like, this is ridiculous. No one has conversations.
They always have tears in their eyes too.
Yes. Yeah, but the fact that she brought that up, I'm having the worst week this week. Oh, please tell me all about it as I make your mocha.
All right, your order's done. Next.
Yeah, let me see if I can make you burst into tears. I mean, he's like, and it's an old reference, but he's like the Barbara Walters of the coffee industry. I mean, people are like, I don't know if I should go in there. They don't feel like crying. He makes so many people cry.
So I'm not buying these stories that he makes up, Drew. Even when the customers aren't nice to him, which is my next example. He had a customer that was a real handful.
Oh, no.
Oh, gosh. I always keep my window open as I'm cleaning up for the day, so if a few extra customers trickle through, I let them come up and I service them and I help them and send them on their way. But man, this last customer caused me to shut this window quick. He pulled up, he saw my "You Are Safe With Me" trans ally sticker, and he said, "In my day, men were men and women were women." And I have to tell you, if this is your stance in the world, and let's be honest, I only ever hear this stance from old white men, but if this is your stance in the world, then that's a full admittance from you to me that you don't get to make decisions today, in this day and age, because it is not your day.
Nope.
It is not your age, and you do not get to make decisions.
Real quick, you might want to go back to the concrete jungle where he grew up and see how they feel about trans, because I'm sure some young African American people don't really agree.
I was thinking the same thing, Mark, when he said that, because I know that Latino people have a very strong patriarchy as far as the way that they like to build their societies and family structures.
Well, black people too. I mean, that's why why the proposition in California got overturned with gay marriage years ago, because they were the ones that. Anyway, sorry.
Wait, you don't think...
No, it's just Drew Lane is the problem, guys. Let's get back.
He's a big part of it.
Now, I'm not saying that this is a whole generation of people that deserve this. I'm just saying it's for the people who have that particular stance. Because guess what? My generation, the people that need to be making decisions about this world, they're the people who care about others, who believe other people deserve to live the life that they see fit. Those who don't demand control over other people's bodies. Those are the people who get to make decisions now.
Yep.
Can we all agree on that?
Yeah.
No.
What?
I've never heard anyone say, "I want control over women's bodies. That's why I'm against abortion." No one has ever said that, but they've accused so many people of it.
It's worse than that, Drew, because he's demanding control over your thoughts.
Yes.
While he's saying, but you can't have control over other people's bodies. But you're not allowed to talk. Your opinion is not valid here. You don't even deserve to have an opinion.
No, anyone that says men are men and women are women, clearly you're out of the conversation. Your day is done.
If you don't think like woke dad, then get the hell out of here. We're no longer helpful in society.
It reminds me of that drop from Family Guy who says, "Oh, you're trans. Tell me what you want, and we'll do or I'll do everything you say." Or what is that drop, Brandon?
No. Oh, it's okay. I'm transgender.
Oh, I had no idea. Do whatever you want all the time.
That's what woke dad is basically saying, is that we're going to make every decision regardless of how it affects you.
But also, this interaction never happened.
No,
exactly.
Of course not.
Right.
Don't forget that part too.
How many people go to a coffee shop and have a shit fit? I mean, it's pretty fucking rare.
Only if their order's fucked up.
And by the way, if you had a sign there that was causing that much trouble, wouldn't you take it down because you're a coffee shop trying to make money?
his
No,
beliefs.
he's a TikToker. He needs that sign there to cause trouble. He loves it.
Okay.
Now, so I'm going to go back into an even earlier one, since we're talking about how some people have the wrong opinion and are not correct, like Daniel. And so Daniel has to deal with this, and it's a real struggle, but he figures out how to make himself feel better about it.
Almost every single day, I am reminded at how awful people can be. Almost every single day, something happens where somebody is just miserable to somebody else or miserable to me. In fact, just right now, I was getting some drywall, and somebody butted in line in front of me. And what did I say? Nothing, because it wasn't worth it. The time, the few extra minutes wasn't worth arguing with somebody. But the reality is, almost every single day, I am reminded at how amazing and stunningly kind so many people are.
You mean you?
For every awful, miserable person in this world, there are 100 kind and caring souls.
Here it comes.
Just yesterday alone, I was able to raise $400 for local kids in need. Just kids who wanted Christmas presents and winter needs. Almost every single day, I'm reminded about awful, but I'm reminded 10 times over how beautiful this world is, how giving this world is. It's easy to dwell on the awful things. It's a lot harder to see the beautiful things. But trust me, if you look, it'll make your world a whole lot more beautiful.
That's so beautiful that he's able to use himself as the example of all the wonderful people out there. Someone butted in line and he didn't even do anything.
Right.
Yeah, the jumping off point, I think, is incredible there. This is a nothing story. So, Drew, today I was driving to my appointment I was telling you about, and the guy in front of me could have made a right on red, but he didn't make a right on red. Even though it was
what did you
clear,
do?
I wanted to make a right, but he didn't make his right. And I could have laid on my horn, but I just thought, you know what? It's not worth it. I'm an amazing person who gives to charity.
Oh my God,
and
that's-
therefore I'm not going to honk at this person. I'm
You
making
go
it
high.
right.
When
That
they
is
go
so
low.
cool, Carl.
Yeah,
I'm really proud
thank
of
you,
you.
Drew. You know what? I wasn't looking for that from you, but I appreciate that that's what you gave me for that. How amazing I am.
Let me get a tissue. Hold on. That's really sweet of you, Carl.
What an asshole. Could you imagine that? Like, he just wanted an excuse to say that he raised $400
Yep.
for whatever, which
Yep.
does nothing for anyone, but whatever. So he raised $400 the day before, so he had to figure out a way to shoehorn that into a TikTok video.
Well, I think he also wanted to bitch about somebody butting in front of him.
Yeah, I
Although
know.
that probably never happened either.
Probably not, because it's whatever.
This guy just lies.
All right, so I have one more video on here because he's got a mobile coffee shop, and something that we don't even consider is the fact that he's driving around in this big truck. It's got a V8 in it. He's got to run this mobile coffee shop with all these machines in there. So I would hope that there's solar panels on it.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something, you know what I mean?
Oh my
You can help
God.
with the solution, and if you're not the person to help with the solution, maybe you can tag somebody who might have an answer, because this is a creative problem looking for a creative solution. Now, this is my coffee shop. This is a 6x12 mobile concession trailer, and I serve a heck of a lot of coffee out of this tiny little space,
Humble
and I serve
brag.
a heck of a lot of people. The problem that I have is, in order for me to operate this space, I need to use a gas generator. There's no other way for me to do it, because I have at least 6 pieces of equipment here that take 1,500 watts at a time, between all of the different water tanks that it requires to be able to operate this space. You know what that means?
What?
If I want to make this a more sustainable space, if I want to put in solar panels, I would need a battery bank that was larger than what my tow capacity would be able to accept on this vehicle. It'd be too heavy.
Damn.
And it wouldn't make sense. And it probably wouldn't charge fast enough for it to be worth
Yeah,
it.
might as well drop it.
So what are my other options?
Get a store.
I know there's a lot of creative, amazing, engineer-minded people out there. How do I make my coffee shop more sustainable?
Get a store. Get a storefront.
That's actually a good answer, Mark. I was going to say, this is a cover your ass video right here.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I want to be doing better for the environment. I don't know what else to do.
No, the answer is it's such a shithole mobile coffee thing that solar panels don't make any sense. Just drop it. Why are you bringing it up?
Yeah, why are you bringing it up? If you could look at the percentage of difference it would make if you weren't driving that thing around and on.
I know,
mean,
it's so small.
statistically, it's a
Yeah.
little bit insignificant, I would say. Don't worry about it, Daniel. No one's upset with you about that.
Well, I got to watch more videos of him. He's some interesting new territory he's going into that I did not anticipate. How many posts does he have?
Oh, thousands. He never, I mean, he posts every day now, and he never disappoints.
He posts every day?
Oh yeah.
Multiple times, doesn't he? Yeah.
And how many?
Sometimes.
He has over 100,000 followers, right?
Almost 150,000.
Has that been going up lately since you started following him?
Oh, that's a good question. We should look at Social Graph or socialblade.com. We could probably look that up, Brandon, if you.
You know, look at. I'm just looking at his page. Every picture is a picture of his giant, stupid face. Never his girlfriend, his friends, his kids. Just him, me. It's all about woke dad all the time, 100%.
I'm sorry, I'm looking this up real quick. But yeah,
I mean,
it's
anytime I look at a page
amazing
like
the
that.
narcissism that's involved in running a TikTok like this. That's what I want him to answer for.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you see those pages, and sometimes it's like, oh, a lot of family. Oh, look, I have a big family. There's 6 people there and 4 different ones there. But no, it's just one face over and over and over, and never any reason to include anyone else because it's all about him. Asshole.
Well, can you explain this this website to me? So he's got a grade of a C+.
Well, I don't care so much about that, but
what
there
are we
should be a
looking
chart
for?
on there that shows what his growth is over time.
Oh, 600 followers in the last 30 days.
Up 20%.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
So
And-
actually, if you look at, all right, so that's video uploads. Yeah, okay, this is what I wanted to look at. Monthly gained followers, monthly gained.
Videos. Okay,
Yeah.
you want yes, you want followers, right? Or likes?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, that graph is going in the wrong direction.
Quite a boot there in March and April he gained.
Yeah, and in 2023, he had a big time from October to January.
Yeah, is that when you found him?
When did Mike
That might
find
be
him?
when WATP started playing those videos. I think it is actually.
That's
I was going
great.
to say, it seems like it's been about 7 or 8 months, which would put it right around there.
And then
I
it
could go
kicked up
back
again
and
in
look. That
March.
might be it.
That's funny. Yeah.
Very interesting. All right, well, Carl, what else did you bring today? You were talking about one podcast, and I didn't know which one you finally decided on.
All right, so there's a couple of things I wanted to play for you. I want to start with Unwaxed podcast. Now, this YouTube channel has 128,000 subscribers. It's a podcast hosted by Sophia and Sistine Stallone,
Oh, boy.
the parents of Sly Stallone and Jennifer Flavin. And these videos
the
get between
kids on-
12,000 and 20,000 views per episode.
Yeah, I was looking at it yesterday. These are Stallone's daughters?
Yes, 2 of his 3 daughters.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so these Nepo babies do a show together. And I want to start off, so the most recent episode just dropped yesterday. And if you play my clip number 1, Mark, you'll get a sense of the type of content we're talking about with these two 20-somethings.
Tan lines on the shoulders, very attractive. On the waist, super cute. But as a female, when you're in the mirror taking a shower and you look out after and you just see like
I don't think it's
pasty
bad.
white boobs and really.
I'm gonna be honest. That's my favorite part.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my favorite
No,
part.
it's cool. It's cool.
This
No.
doesn't look normal.
I think it's hot.
Oh Lord.
Oh, that dark-haired sister, Carl, seems like such a pain in the
That
ass.
voice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she has an epiphany on this episode. We're going to get into that. But I love that the
can't
first
stand
topic
her.
is tan lines, hot or not. That's an important topic to get into. And then they say, like, what about like around the nipples, on the boob? And I always say, when it comes to tan lines, I don't see color. It's no problem for me, ladies.
Who was that dude that jumped in?
All right, so they have a producer named Joe. And
how's
or
he
Chris, I'm
related?
sorry. His name is Chris. I'm sorry. And we'll get into an embarrassing clip. Actually, why don't we skip to that? So, clip number 6. They ask a question of Chris, and they really stump him on this one.
Do you truly believe, and Chris, I'm curious what you think, do you truly believe that everything happens for a reason? And that everything works its way out the way it's supposed to?
I don't know about everything. I think that there's probably reasons for things happening, and it's hard to pinpoint what they are exactly.
Right.
Right.
Always great to ask an open-ended question that no one can possibly have the right answer for.
No, I loved his answer. He goes, there are probably reasons for things
Things that
happening.
are happening.
Yeah, of course. You know what, Chris? There probably are reasons that things happen and stuff. Yeah. Good answer, dummy.
Well, I want to tell you what I can't understand. These are Sylvester Stallone and Jennifer Flavin, who is a model. They're daughters. They're quite beautiful.
Yes.
They're Nepo babies, and they only do 11, 12,000 views a show. What? I mean, this has to be a horseshit show.
Yeah, there's one episode they did 6 months ago, episode 102, and it's called Sly, the documentary exclusive interview. It has 361,000 views.
Oh, they interviewed their dad.
Yeah.
People like Sylvester Stallone, but they don't really care about these two very much. So they recently went on a family weekend for their younger sister, Charlotte's birthday. And they went to the beach, and they were getting drunk one day at lunch. And so Sistine seems like she's insufferable. And she talks about this is their best anecdote. So you have the Stallone family all hanging out for an entire weekend celebrating a birthday. This is the anecdote they go to. My clip number 2, Mark.
For some reason, Sistine just to deflect, she starts biting my arm, and she goes, "Nom nom nom nom, you're so yummy."
Pharaoh.
I know, and then I told her, I'm like, well, I bit it. I was like, yum. Okay, because here's the thing. I had a whole plate of chicken and fries, and I was the only one that licked the sauce plate clean because I had the drunchies. I was really hungry. So then I see her arm, and I bit her arm, and I was like, nom nom nom, yum. Yeah, and I told her, I was like, I've looked. She's like, you're so delicious. I'm like, because I'm 5 pounds overweight. Like, so sad. No, that's not why. So that's foul. Yeah. No.
Well, hot chicks tend to think almost anything they do or say is very entertaining, and that's where they're wrong.
Correct. And I just emailed you, Mark, 'cause I forgot to send you this link when I sent over my clips earlier.
Yep.
But they have a reality show. Do you guys know about the Family Stallone?
Is
this Paramount Plus?
Is it on now?
It's on now. So the second season launched this year. Wow. But we don't have to watch this whole thing. But so you're watching this podcast, you're going, that sounds really boring. But they have a reality show? What's that all about? Well, let's find out.
It's not how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
He's one of the world's biggest stars. Now, see him like never before as a family man.
No.
Grooming the cats.
Really?
May 17th on Paramount Plus.
I feel as though I just jumped into Stallone world.
Where's your dad, Tom?
Meet one incredible family.
Action. Being the oldest, I've always had this pressure of being very perfect. Dating with the last name that I have is incredibly hard. Being a Stallone, it holds a lot of weight.
So hard.
My sister and I run a podcast called Unwaxed. We're in our early 20s. It doesn't get much better than this. Brain-wise, body-wise, looks-wise. We're at our peak, ladies. All right, let's keep going.
When I was younger, I fell in love with acting.
What happened? Oh my God, this part.
I am so nervous walking onto that set. Don't screw this up, Scarlett.
Oh, your dad's set?
Family is everything. When we're all together, it feels like home.
I know we're insane. I know we're crazy, but we love each other so much.
I can't believe you guys are actually doing a reality show.
I would have thought you on TV like this. You're welcome.
Hey, yo.
Embrace the moment and not be worried about what other people think.
Cheers to family.
Not how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving
Can you
forward.
pause it?
You already said that.
So doesn't this seem like it's just another attempt at the Osbournes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because, and this is even worse, because, so they're trying to say, like, hey, look at this family and how they are a nuclear family. Meanwhile, all the kids are in their 20s. You're telling me they all still live at the house?
No, that should be embarrassing.
Right. There's no way that's the case. So this is all
wait a
staged.
sec. You don't know how hard it is to be a hot 20-year-old with the last name Stallone?
I know. She goes, it's so hard to date. You know, my last name's Stallone.
And I'm hot as shit.
And I'm rich.
And they're plugging the podcast on the reality show. They're Sylvester Stallone's kids, and they're hot as hell, and they're doing 12,000 views. I mean, that's pathetic. That's basically the public's way of saying, we really don't like you. Because under almost any other circumstances, just being super duper hot, you'd think they could get an audience.
But yeah, so this came back for season 2, and I got to think, like, all of those daughters are attractive.
Yes, yes.
They're all attractive. So this makes for a good reality program for sure. And the fact that they're promoting that podcast in the trailer for the reality show makes no sense to me.
No, he's trying to launch the Nepo babies. This is giving the Nepo babies a boost beyond their last name.
Well, and the youngest one who isn't on the podcast in that trailer was doing her first acting role in Tulsa King, which is his show that he also stars and produces. So
correct. Yes. So Us Weekly did a write-up on these two back in 2021. Sistine and Sophia Stallone, a day in the life exclusive. And I'm not going to read it all to you, but I just want to give you guys a rundown of what these two sisters, what it's like to be them, a day in the life. So it starts off with breakfast because they're avid bakers and they batch up blueberry scones.
Bullshit.
And they're human beings, and human beings eat breakfast.
And then at 10 a.m., they go to the gym and they work out together. At 12 p.m., they're in the studio for their Unwaxed podcast. Then, after that...
They do no prep.
Wait. They don't do that
any
7
prep?
days a week. They do that once a week, correct?
Yeah, but this is a very
this is that
special
day.
day of the life.
I see.
Yes.
Again,
Then
no
at 2
prep, though? No prep for the show?
Maybe they did it the night before.
Yeah, okay.
I doubt, honestly, after watching this, I doubt they do any prep
They
at
don't
all. They
do
just sit
any,
down and start talking about stuff. Then at 2 p.m., after they're done with the podcast, they split up for their own hobbies. Sophia's recently taken up painting, and Sistine enjoys playing golf.
Tough life.
Pretty good stuff.
Wait, where's the job?
And then at 5 p.m., they go to the beach and watch the sunset together.
Oh, fuck off.
Where's the job, Carl?
And then at 8 p.m., they go home, get their jammies, and watch movies with their family.
Well,
That's
sweet.
realistic, right? Don't you think that's their day?
Yeah, right.
So that once a week podcast is their job?
Yeah. Yeah.
True. What do you think? Do you think that they're baristas? Come on.
Whatever
in
the
other words,
podcast doesn't make, Stallone makes up.
He has 3 spoiled as shit daughters, and so he has to find a way for them to make a living, and so that's why he's doing that show to promote the podcast.
Yeah, he wants them out of the house.
reasons. There's no way he wants to do that podcast, right?
No, there's no way. And so if you play my clip number 3, and this is where they're losing me a little bit, because according to Sistine, nobody has confidence. There's not a single person on this earth who's confident.
Oh, wow, okay.
You know, some people, you look at them and you're like, wow, they have all the confidence in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't. They just figured out that if you tell yourself enough times that you're confident, that you're the baddest bitch walking down the street, that you deserve the best, then you actually start to believe it.
Get confident, stupid.
She has confidence that she should not have, doesn't she? Because she talks shit and insists she's right.
Oh, for sure. And this is what's so crazy about it, is that she's saying that there's no such thing as confidence. People just trick themselves into it. Her father is one of the most confident people to ever exist on this earth. The fact that he got Rocky made, the way that he insisted on getting it made and doing it before he was even a star is incredible. She's sitting there going, I mean, nobody has actual confidence. That doesn't exist.
Oh, no.
What do you mean? It's not true at all.
No, a girl in her mid-20s who has never worked before and she knows all about confidence and who does and who doesn't have it. Really? Come on.
Oh, they talk about body image and how they beat themselves up. I mean, they're both very, very attractive. It's insane. But this leads to her epiphany that she had. Now, the epiphany that she had happened after she was nibbling on her sister's arm because she was drunk.
Yeah.
So this is one of those drunk epiphanies, which is a good way to do it.
So I made this whole epiphany happen at that crying drunk come down session. And I said, I am so excited for this next chapter of my life where I want to just be happy.
Yeah.
And not care so much.
Wow.
And not do things to make other people like me more. Like, I like me. And if you don't like me, fuck you.
I agree.
Respectfully.
No, I agree.
Right?
Respectfully,
I agree.
fuck you.
You know what? She's one of those people that if she's in the room, she's too big for the room. It doesn't matter how big the room is. She's too big for the room. She's just always going to demand more attention than she's worthy of. She's such a pain in the ass. I can't stand her, Carl.
Hey, if you don't like her, fuck you.
Okay, I'll take it.
That epiphany, by the way, is the definition of being selfish. That's called selfishness, is what you just said.
Yeah, whatever makes me happy is fine.
I don't care about anybody else. Also, I'm not sure if you can make an epiphany happen.
No.
I forced myself to have this epiphany. Like, okay, that's not how that works at all. But the fact that she goes on there, she goes, my epiphany is I'm going to not care about anyone else. I'm just going to do whatever I want to do all the time, whatever makes me happy. So maybe her sister, Sophia, the older sister, can save this one and be like, well, that's not really what you mean, right?
If this is all relational, by the way, relationship stuff. When you put your heart and your soul to someone that is saying all the right things to you, but not giving you it, you need to also look at the big picture here. My point is that sometimes it's hard to, take a step back and go, what's my value? What's my worth? Because then I almost went into this rabbit hole of going, what's wrong with me? Instead of going, what's wrong with this person? Like, why are they? Do you know what I'm saying? It's because it's so easy. It's so easy to get caught up in the insecurity going like, am I not pretty enough? Am I not nice enough? Am I not smart enough?
Sounds like she needs something to occupy her time.
Hey, so Sophia asks, am I not pretty enough? Am I not nice enough? Am I not smart enough? Sophia, you're very pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's hot. No doubt.
1 out of 3 ain't bad. But I like that. She's trying to explain that, like, yeah, so I had this epiphany. I should just be selfish from now on. And then Sophia, I thought, was going to come to the rescue. She didn't make a lot of good points. And then at the very end, she's like, yeah, and if, like, a person you're with tells you can improve, just be like, fuck off. I don't need to improve.
Yeah, I'm perfect.
Yeah.
You're the one that has a problem.
Yeah, you didn't help at all.
This is really the kind of show that, when I first found WATP, I thought this is what it's all about. Finding, okay, the Stallone daughters, they're doing a podcast. Well, they've got lots of resources. They'll probably work really hard on it and, it'll have some production elements and all that. But no, it's completely phoned in. There's no prep. They're acting like they're experts in life. Because they have no expertise in anything else. They do no prep. I mean, they could talk pop culture, movies, anything, but no, there's no plan. There's no direction to the podcast. It's just us talking about knowing about life, and they don't know shit.
The one thing I'll give them is they do have good chemistry. Now, they're sisters. They grew up very well-to-do. They grew up with actors in the house. Good chemistry, good flow to the show. But then at a certain point, they're telling this story about how Sophia was interested in this guy. Now, Sophia is single. She's interested in this guy, but then this guy's cousin told her not to date him because he's bad news. So it was like this weird thing. It was like, oh, do cousins do that? But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because in my clip number 7, for whatever reason, Sistine just cuts her off and segues into this whole different conversation that makes no sense.
They were friends, but anywho, nice guy, but I don't, no. I'm not
Chris,
in
do
the
you know
mindset
anything
to do
about
it.
building juice? Building juice. You know when you're walking on the sidewalk and then you just get hit with like a random drop of water and you're
I think it's usually like air conditioning condensation.
Yeah, it's building juice.
We call it building juice.
Okay. Yeah, that's much grosser.
Well, listen, it got in my eye. Should I be concerned?
Sorta, yeah.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
She said it was a little irritating because we were walking. It's super hot today. All of a sudden, this big drop of water from the building hit her eyeball, and so we're like,
right
"Is
in
she gonna die?"
How long has it been?
Yesterday?
Oh, you're fine.
Oh,
you're fine.
Are you sure it's not mutating her genes? Like she's gonna... Shut the fuck up!
Poor Chris.
Wow.
Poor Chris.
I love the way all 3 of them went with the subject change. Like, oh, great subject change. Let's go with it. Building juice.
And I couldn't clip it, obviously, but the conversation before that was 10 minutes long about meeting this guy, and he's so handsome, and she thought he was the right guy, and then the cousin texts her, and all this crazy shit that she just segues immediately into building juice. And I got to give her credit. There actually was prep there. I think she looked at her phone and then went, hey, Chris, you think building juice is bad for you if it gets in your eye?
No, this is the kind of show that WATP was made for. Famous people who think they can just turn on the mics and have success, and no, they can't because they're terrible at it, and they put nothing into it. And for being that hot, I cannot believe how few people watch that show with the name Stallone. That's insane. That's total failure.
Also, I don't have any clips. That's my last clip of the show. But they also do the one thing that's such a cop-out for any celebrity to do. I've seen a ton of celebrities do this on their podcast where they just go, send us in your questions, we'll give you advice. So at the end of it, they just read a note they got from a listener.
They're experts at life.
Right.
Yeah,
I know.
sure.
They're going to know better, of course.
Oh, my God. Carl, did they have any advertisers?
No. Thankfully, they did not have any advertisers.
Their dad has so much money, they don't need advertisers.
Why doesn't Tulsa King advertise on it? Or Paramount Plus? You would think all the people they work with would advertise on it.
The cross promotion only goes one way, apparently.
Yeah,
with these,
exactly.
What a life.
Now, speaking of people who have it all figured out, Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Alex Jones had an interesting week because we thought, and Brandon was very upset. I was like, no, Brandon, I wanted to hug him. He's like, is this the last Alex Jones episode ever?
I teased it. I thought it was the last one.
It'll never go away.
Oh my gosh, it's so upsetting. So I tuned in to today's show. This is from moments ago.
Oh, great.
Oh, there's another show? I thought yesterday was the last show.
He's all right. So he explained that the judge has told him. Now he says the judge has asked me not to talk about it at all. I can't talk about it. So here's what I'm going to talk about. You know, can't help himself. But he says there's a hearing on the 14th. So no one's going to seize his assets or shut down the studio until the 14th at this hearing. And he goes, people think that I'm doing this for attention. I'm lying. Guess what? It's real. It's all documented. As everything else is that he talks about, it's all documented. It's all out there.
Well, he's got a bunch of papers in front of him always. So maybe those are the documents.
That's my prep there, Mark.
Yeah. Exactly.
Could you imagine the money he would save if he just had an iPad in front of him instead of printing out every news story? Because he never gets them. I've watched hours of Alex Jones. He's got piles and piles of news stories in front of him. He pulls up the top sheet, looks at the headline, reads it, puts it back down, and then just 20 minutes on whatever supplements he's selling. It's just like, why did you print out all this shit then?
Yeah, there's like 8 stacks of stuff in front of him, 2 rows of 8x11 paper, and it covers it in a huge space. And there were 3 other people on the show, and we were watching. They had no paper in front of them whatsoever. But again, they never talked either.
They feed off me.
Well, when Ye was on the show, the famous episode where he declared his love for Hitler, Ye did not let Alex Jones have any paper on the table. He's like, no, the table's got to be bare. And I remember the show started with Alex just like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do today. This is weird for me. I don't have my notes in front of me. Ye didn't want me to have this out there.
Why would he give a fuck?
He's a weirdo.
Yeah. It's just being OCD or something?
Control.
Oh, okay.
It's all about control.
I guess.
All right, so I want to start with my clip number 9 because what he's talking about here, it's very important that Alex Jones stay on the air, as we all know. Because what he's talking about is the COVID vaccines. It's been proven. Yahoo News is covering it. It's out there. It's mainstream information now. Anyone who took an mRNA vaccine is going to die.
Oh, man.
He says, and I don't want to alert the true
I'm not going to live forever.
I thought he just said millions. I didn't know it was everyone.
Well, yeah, everyone's going to die.
Most will die. He said, what he said was, they've given this stuff to rats. Rats will live like another year or so, and then they die. And so based on that, I give humans 20 years max. All right, that's what he's saying. So now he's trying to figure out, and this is very scary, people. I mean, I've been listening to Alex Jones for a couple of decades now. He only predicts this every other month. So this is very rare for him. But he explains that because everyone's going to start dropping dead from these vaccines, the New World Order and the globalists have to cover this up. And what better way to do that than with a nuclear war? So this is my clip 9.
But that's what they've given. So I remember saying they're going to have a nuclear war or something when all the death starts, because they just want to make sure that once there's a nuclear war, the survivors, it's the radiation killing you. It's unbelievable. I mean, they've given 4.5 billion people a shot that'll kill most of them over time, and a lot of them really quick. And now it's right on time as all the death comes out that, okay, we got to go ahead and have the nuclear war now, or they're gonna get us. Yeah. So I think there's about to be a nuclear war, and I'm really sorry for everybody. Now, if we get the word out about this, and we really pray, and we have cooler heads prevail, we can turn this around. If Trump was in office, there would not be a nuclear war.
Oh, wait, what? That makes no sense.
There's a solution, Mark. He's going to vote for Trump. That's good news.
But even with his logic, that makes no sense. So wait, so if we vote for Trump, we vote for Trump, all the vaccines will just stop killing people?
No, he's just saying they'll stop the nuclear war.
Yeah, the nuclear war. Okay. He didn't promise anything.
But then how are the globalists going to cover up all the deaths?
Oh, the radiation from the nuclear war, Mark.
That's not going to happen, though.
World War III.
If you vote for Trump, it's not going to happen. So they got to find a new way to cover it up?
I guess so.
Question,
yes.
Mark.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure the globalists have a plan B.
I mean,
I'm sure the globalists.
I apologize for going off the first part that he started with, because he ended up in a whole different place.
Mark, you're asking questions that'll be answered at the next Bilderberg group.
Sorry. Yep.
Right.
That's right.
So he goes on to say the COVID vaccines are killing more people per capita than were being killed during World War II. Which is interesting. And then I think it's real, though, guys. I think he means this, because he's in his studio. He's sweating. This is my clip number 10. He's sweating in an air-conditioned studio because he's so upset about this.
But it's cold in here right now, and I'm sweating. Because my body wants to fix this. My body wants to get people to wake up. My body's pleading with everyone. I'm like pleading with the establishment and everybody else and everybody that sits on the fence to get up off your asses. I mean, I'm not an asthmatic, but when I get in this position, I start feeling like asthmatic, like I can't breathe because this is nuclear war, folks. This is not like a chance of this. The United States and Europe start blowing up Russian cities. Russia says they're going to respond by attacking European cities.
So earlier he said, I think there's going to be a nuclear war, and now he says it's not like there's just a chance of it. It's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
It sounds like his body is manifesting radiation.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Yes.
Does he have a supplement to offset that?
Yeah, it's Nitro Booster 3.
Okay, Carl, we talked about this briefly yesterday. Is he starting to look like Fat Bastard from Austin Powers?
Yes. And it's funny, too, because he's promoting these supplements that help you lose weight and build muscle mass and all this stuff. And he's like, and I take them myself. And I'm like, don't say that, Alex. Pretend you ran out of it.
Yeah, his shape is just getting worse and worse and worse.
And from people who are close to him, and there's been exposés and things like that, from what I've heard, and I know some people are actually a little bit closer to him than I am, and his drinking's just out of control. I think the stress of fighting the globalists has really gotten to him.
Well, I've been amazed that Trump, in spite of everything, is so fucking relentless. He just keeps going. Even after that guilty verdict, 34-34, he's at UFC the next night. I thought that was incredible. He's smiling, having a ball. He looks like he's just a ball of energy. And Alex Jones is kind of the same way. I mean, 2 trials, $1.5 billion, and he's still putting out those emergency shows every day. I mean, I know he doesn't look great, and I agree with you.
He's not handling the stress as well as Trump, I don't think.
It sounds like he's drinking a lot. I'm reading some of the things that you're reading. But he is still, I mean, to just even keep going, you think you go, oh, fuck it. What's the point of making $1 million next month? Because I'm going to have to give up. Well, I guess actually maybe he doesn't have to give it all up.
I think he looks pretty good there.
Yeah, he looks great there.
He's got those same chops as Fat Bastard.
Well, he claims that the people he owes money to are not even willing to negotiate.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Assholes.
He's trying to negotiate, but they're not willing to negotiate. But
those asshole parents of those dead 6-year-olds, they're such assholes.
Well, he didn't kill their kids, Drew. I want to point out that a lot of people thought that the Sandy Hook was fake at the time that Alex Jones was saying that. That was not just Alex Jones pushing that narrative. So the fact that he owes $1.5 billion is ridiculous. It's a stupid judgment.
A lot of people thought that was a fake murder?
Yeah.
Before he said a word?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, the internet was full of conspiracies right out of the gate because
it didn't help that the FBI stats had 0 deaths in that county for that year. That came out, which was a weird anomaly, and then they had to tear the building down immediately. I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff that happened around that. That there was a lot of lore that built up. Now, am I saying that Sandy Hook didn't happen? Of course, I'm not. I'm just saying that we all like to point the finger. Like Alex Jones did all of this. Like it wasn't just Alex Jones. Shut up, conspiracy theorist.
Well, I think he was pretty instrumental, though.
And he kept doing it after he was. Wasn't there a judgment to have him stop doing it?
He sent reporters out there, and they trolled the people. I don't know. I don't think what he did was the right thing.
I don't think what he did was the right thing at all. But I also think that the punitive damages.
It's a ridiculous amount. Yeah.
Well, no, the amount is insane. But I mean,
he didn't help himself out though.
No,
with the amount.
not at all.
I mean, a lot of that was from not turning over evidence and not in the way he behaved. So.
And he's remorseless. And I mean, he put those people through a lot of shit. I mean, the internet just fucking turned on these people. I mean, it's one thing to lose a 6-year-old. It's another thing to have a pile of Alex Jones followers coming after you and giving you shit for years. I mean, not just a few days.
Or it's one thing for him just to say and it disappearing into the ether into his audience's ears, but they acted upon it.
Well, the audience must have liked it. It must have been a very popular topic, I assume.
I remember it was. It was a hot topic.
Although, was it still popular in 2017, 18? Were people still talking about it besides him?
Only when crisis actors would show up that were also crisis actors from Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook was the first time I'd ever heard of crisis actors. It's insane.
Oh, that term cracks me up.
And if you remember, also another weird thing that came out of Sandy Hook was how many people went out and bought AR-15s. I knew personally like 10 dudes who went out because everybody thought Obama was going to
happens a lot though.
Shut them down. And
yeah. I mean, generally, if somebody's talking about gun sales, I expect that they're going to say that they're up. It seems like there's nothing where they go, you know what, such and such has really brought gun sales down.
Well, they typically go up after a mass shooting because people think that they're going to get their weapons taken away.
Yeah, they're pretty popular.
I guess my point is, and I hope you guys can understand what I'm saying here. I'm not saying that Alex Jones is in the right or anything like that, or that he was correct about any of this. But you also can't control your audience. When you have millions of followers and listeners and they all go do shit. Now, you can even tell them not to do that. It doesn't mean they're going to stop.
Well, it would have helped if he had dropped the subject at some point and told them that, you know what, I think I was wrong about this.
And if InfoWars itself wasn't going up there and harassing people.
I mean, wouldn't it be fair to say, okay, I'm just being conservative, by 2015 to say, you know what, nobody really thinks this is fake. Wasn't it pretty well established? By 2015, 2 years later.
What was the year that he admitted it to, was it Megyn Kelly that interviewed him or whatever when he was on?
That was like 2021, I think, or 2022.
2019, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't remember. I think it was before COVID.
Yeah, I just feel like at some point he should have said, yeah, I was really wrong about that. Please don't bother these people. But he could have said, please don't bother these people before that, because what if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you should err on the side of grieving parents. If it's between grieving parents versus crisis actors.
Let me ask you this, Drew. In 2026, is Alex Jones going to apologize when there wasn't a nuclear war? He's going to go, whoops, I got that one wrong. Like, you can't spend too much time going, whoops, I got that one wrong, and then predicting the future.
Nobody does it. No one does it. So
no one does it, right?
Because nobody's saying they were wrong about vaccines. No one's saying they're wrong about COVID. No one's saying they're wrong about anything.
It's not funny.
You have to drag it out of him, or it never happens.
Right. So my clip number 11, this is why he needs to be on the air, and this is why they want to take this platform away from him.
And that's why future of InfoWars, yeah, I want to stay on air to warn people. I'll be able to warn people. I'll be able to be on the air. And they're strategic. They know that. They want us off right now because of what's about to happen. It's not going to matter soon, folks. There's going to be nobody on the air. You know, the Department of Energy is now sending out memos to their employees saying, prepare to live off the land. And that's a code for all the training they've been given, and saying, prepare for there to be no power grid.
Yep.
They're quietly sending out, they're not saying get, a week of storable food and have your flashlight ready. They're saying that their federal employees are now being told, prepare for the end of the world.
Wow.
And so federal employees, somehow they get them not to tell anyone that,
They're
or they
very
just tell
quiet
Alex
They
Jones
told
that?
Alex, yeah.
That's pretty weird.
He's the only one that would get the word out.
Does that email self-destruct after you read it or something? No one screen grabbed that one?
I mean, I have family members who know people who work for the federal government, quite a few, and they haven't said a fucking thing.
Yeah,
assholes.
Come on. Don't they like us? What's going on here?
I guess not. That sucks.
I love, though, that he goes, look, they're going to take me off the air, but so what? Everyone's going to be off the air. It's fun.
I like when he pretends he cares so much about us when it's all about him and only him.
Really. Oh, the other day you guys were talking about, I just want to bring this up real quick. You guys were talking about Alex Jones and talking about liquidating his studio and everything like that for this settlement. And Trudy goes, his studio, what's that worth? Do you see how beautiful that studio is?
Really I agree. I'd love to have that studio.
Studio on the internet for sure.
Yeah,
crazy.
That's a great studio.
But it comes nowhere close to clearing the $1.5 billion judgment.
Probably not going to make a dent in that. No, probably not.
It's just a way to kind of disrupt him and make his life miserable, which I think it's probably doing.
They hate my kids.
But, you know, if I had a $1.5 billion judgment against me, I think I'd be a lot more miserable than he is.
Well, yeah, I don't think he ever thought he was going to pay a dime of it.
You people are criminals.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
Which is maybe why also Trump's not sweating the 34 felonies, because he's like, I don't know.
OJ never paid the Goldmans.
Right, yeah.
I mean, they trolled, they went after him forever. They were always on him every step of the way. Never paid a dime.
Nope, he found ways to get a cash-only business by signing stuff, and he made it through.
So I just have one more clip on here because you guys, I feel like, and I'm just trying to read the room, I feel like you guys are doubting that Alex Jones is being sincere and honest with us. So again, this is just moments ago. This happened live on his show. This is proof that the struggle is real.
Oh my God. I mean, and again, we've had such a normalcy bias for so long that people think, oh, this will never happen. I'm surprised we haven't blown ourselves up yet. So I'm going to stop because I've got so much to get to, and Laura Logan's coming up. I got to get focused here. Oh my God. By the way, this is not an act. The crew's seeing me. I'm like actually stumbling around the office.
Wow.
Drunk
from anxiety. I mean, I finally, because I know. I mean, I know. Okay. I mean, me and my family are all, I mean, this is horrible. Okay.
What?
I might be able to continue doing the show.
Oh.
Okay, so please God, just give me this
Bring
drink.
some oxygen.
I already wanted to play some of these. I'm going to take a break here from. I'll be back at the bottom of the hour.
Man, it's tough.
That's the worst acting possibly ever.
Just like when he cried.
We need to stop yourself and go, by the way, this isn't bullshit. This is real. That's how you know it's like, oh, I'm not even buying this.
I'm not acting.
Guys, nuclear war. Come on. That means we're all not going to be able to do shows pretty soon.
Why do people always say? Why do people always say, I'm not lying about this? Or, I swear to God.
Because they are.
Or because they lie a lot of the time.
That's a tell right there, for sure.
But I'm not acting? No, he was totally acting. He's a horrible actor, too.
I know. That's what makes it even better.
Yeah.
Also, I like when the people say, you can even ask my staff.
Yeah.
Oh, the people who rely on you for their paycheck?
Yeah,
okay, they'll be
that
out.
guy over there, that guy over there.
I have to admit it, at the end of the day, one of my favorite cliches, it's still fun to watch him. I have to admit.
Yeah, for sure.
I get a kick out of him.
I tuned in for a little bit today just to see what he's up to, and I was like, oh, this is the Alex Jones I love. This is the guy.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to check in every day now. It's just it's worth at least a few minutes of your time.
Well, any day could be the last broadcast.
That's true.
Right. Yeah.
And I got to tell you guys, after that, he was very worked up and upset. And I'm sure you guys are all like, oh, Alex. He made himself feel better by watching Fauci, talk to Congress. So felt better after that.
Did you see the guy making faces behind Fauci's head?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't see that?
No.
Oh, we just watched it. Show Carl a little bit of this. This guy, Carl, was arrested on January 6th. He was smoking a joint in some senator's office, and he went to prison, as many of these guys did. He just got out of prison, and he showed up and was in line for quite a while, waiting to be one of the citizens that got to sit in whatever empty seats they had. He sat right behind Fauci. And play the audio so we can see what he's making a face at.
Death threats leading to the arrests of 2 individuals. And credible death threats mean someone who clearly was on their way to kill me. And it's required my having protective services essentially all the time. It is very troublesome to me.
Wait, no,
it is much more troublesome because they involve my wife and my 3 daughters.
At these moments, how do you feel? Keep your mic on.
Terrible.
Look at this guy.
Do you continue to receive threats today?
Yes, I do. Every time someone gets up and says I'm responsible for the death of people throughout the world, the death threats go up.
How poor you.
I guess he was there for quite a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, until they kicked him out.
That's funny.
Just got out of prison.
Not since the guy was making the jerk-off motion behind home plate have I seen someone in the background making such a spectacle of themselves.
Did you see the Edmonton Oilers fan, Carl? The perfect tits?
Oh. Let me tell you, when I was listening to your show, I was on an airplane, so I was not connected to the internet. So as soon as I got onto the tarmac, I was like, let's check that link out. Wow.
There's an update.
We're not exaggerating.
There's an update on her. We still don't know who she is, but the website, the porn dude, has offered her a job.
Yes.
Wow.
Offered her to do porn.
$100,000.
He said those boobs are made for porn. So she has an offer, but in the article, according to TMZ, she is still yet to be identified.
Brandon promised me she would be identified.
The internet will find a way.
No, too late.
Guys, I am not her agent. I'm just going to throw that out there. Don't take the deal. You can make more money on your own. You don't need a middleman. In the day and age of the internet, you'll do just fine. Start with Instagram. Get to OnlyFans. You'll be a millionaire.
Good advice, for sure. All right, Carl, congratulations on the Hackamania. And I reminded people yesterday that tickets are available for WATP with all our friends here, October 25th at the Magic Bag. Hopefully you're selling some tickets already.
Yes, I know tickets are already selling for that. And of course, a reminder, we'd love to see you at the VIP meet and greet. It's always a great time.
Yes,
but
that's
that does
fun.
not get you into the show. You have to purchase a separate ticket to get into the show on top of the VIP meet and greet. But yeah, is Ted Williams a go for it this year?
He is a go. Yes, he is scheduled to be here. I know. I'm totally psyched. I was trying to think, is there anybody else we can or should invite if anybody has any ideas?
Let's get Righteous Rick and then people can fight him.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
Dunk tank for Righteous Rick. I know Eric Zane's going to make it. He already told me.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, no, we should have a great crowd. Hopefully. I sold out the last 2 years. Hopefully we'll do it again this year and hopefully sooner than later. But Anyway, October 25th, and the website to buy tickets at is?
The Magic Bag.
Yeah, right now there's a link on our website that'll take you right there, the Magic Bag.
Cool.
And also, we're doing DabbleCon 2, August 16th and 17th in Rochester at the Comedy at the Carlson. So the Shuley Network and all those guys, Uncle Rico Show, and who are these podcasts, and Potato Soup and Tukey Soup, we're all combining forces. We're going to have a roast one night. We're going to do live podcasts, the second annual Dabby Awards. So carlsoncomedy.com. You can get tickets for that.
I shudder to ask this question because I'm afraid hopefully the answer doesn't take too long. I saw that John is talking about suing again, and he always follows through on his threatens to sue. I know. He's got a great track record for doing that. Is he threatening to sue Shuley for defamation because Shuley said he knows something and he keeps like throwing it out there, and John's saying that it's blackmail?
Yes. So Shuley's been saying he knows that John's committed a felony. He has inside information. He has sources on it.
But John said it's already defamation because he's never been arrested.
Well, yeah, you have to be arrested to commit a felony, right?
No, but it's not. He's never been arrested, Carl, so he couldn't have committed a felony. That's John logic for you.
Well, if he's arrested in the future, though, then will that mean he did commit a felony?
Yeah, if it's something that
so he could be proven right retroactively, I guess.
I wonder where the statute of limitations is on this felony. Any idea? Do you know anything about this?
I know everything about it. I'm in on the behind the scenes stuff, and this did occur very recently. What John did that is a felony. Yes.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh no, I'm in the lawsuit. Damn it, Drew!
God.
Now you got me in it.
Carl, he's never been arrested. He would have been arrested and charged if he'd committed this thing, even recently. Doesn't take people long to arrest people.
Look at this panel of losers.
It's just like he was signed by Atlantic Records, therefore he's a better guitarist than anyone who wasn't signed by Atlantic Records.
That is his logic.
That's a fact.
Correct. It's hard to argue with that.
No,
too.
it is very much. All right, cool. October 25th, Magic Bag, and who are these podcasts? Who are these socials too? Tomorrow night with Blind Mike, and so it goes. Carl,
Yes,
thank you
very much.
Thank
guys.
you.
All right, good talking to you.
We'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you really soon. I got to find out about this. All right.